Okay, welcome to Volskaya, and I'm very curious to see what the teams do with this map. Volskaya is personally my least favourite map. I think it can be over too quickly. Also, I think the defenders have too far a run back. As we have a brief chat about Junkrat, I'm very curious to see if they get any use at all out of pushing across here. There's some very effective strategies where you can use Lucio, for example, Farah, anything with a knockback to actually knock people into the water immediately as they do come out of this exit here. It is actually hard to do, and if you get caught out doing it, of course, you'll be on the choke point, and that can actually be very dangerous. Both teams scout each other out. Again, Vonethil going with the Symmetra pick. Very curious to see where he sets up and how he does it. Also, it looks like Bubblestorm's actually taken on my curiosity about Junkrat, so I'll be curious to see how effective he is on that particular hero. Does lay down the concussive mine there. He is looking to push some people off. Also put a trap right up front. I think Crom has spotted it, however. Maybe he hasn't. If he hasn't, that could be a very dead Crom immediately. Yeah, he has picked it off immediately and does whiff the bomb. Doesn't quite land it. Looks like the team is going to immediately fall back. They can't get any cheap kills. They've got to be careful around this first choke point. It's so dangerous here, and Reinhardt really can't afford to charge down this pathway here. It's such an easy way to go down. Does manage to get caught in the trap, however. That's some free damage onto Reinhardt. Does lock him in place as well, so the barrier can take some damage. And Junkrat now can actually spam around this corner very effectively, get some damage going, does force the team back, will break up some of this unified push. However, Tracer, it looks like she's gone in the backline, and it looks like Genji has also done it. That said, there's a Symmetra nest back there. It's actually kind of interesting, Genji versus Symmetra. Symmetra can do a really good job in that battle. Symmetra can do a really good job in that battle. That said, they do manage to pull enough of the team back so they are forced into position. Crom, again, caught by that Junkrat trap. There goes Crom. There's my strats, boys. This is why you want me as a coach, lol. But Poppy is in place, raining down damage. Got to be so careful about that. They need someone to take care of that. It looks like Farah is in position. It's ready to go. Junkrat doing a very bold use of his ultimate there. No one's actually managed to take it out yet. He might actually get some kills here. It does get some damage onto the Reinhardt. Some good damage there, and they are forced back all the way to the initial choke. So it looks like Genji and Tracer are going to go around the flank. Genji does manage to make it, as I'm going to try and follow them as best I can. I believe I can actually speed up in the camera. Whoa, I can speed up a lot in the camera. So they do launch around. Holy shit, that's fast. And Symmetra Web, again, just stopping this back cap. Doing such a good job here. They've got to be so careful about it. And any time that Tracer spends trying to take out those sentries, it's time spent not doing anything. But that said, Earthshatter comes in and does manage to catch pretty much the entire team. But oh god, that's one hell of a name. Let's just call him Mendo. Does manage to get off a very good fire ult, but doesn't actually manage to pick up any targets. D.Va clearing the point. Does manage to take out the entire defense matrix. And now it's vulnerable. Symmetra does not have a teleporter up at the moment either. This is very dangerous. It's just fire against the entire team, and I don't think she's going to last much longer, even against this spam. Genji's the only good, real ranged DPS at the moment on that team, but I don't think it's enough, and down she goes. Stuck in the back line. They're going to use that Lucio speed buff to get immediately to the next point. I'm going to race ahead of them using this amazing spectator flying mode. They're going to go straight down the middle. Reinhardt charges in. Oh my god, he stepped in front of it. That's a slight mistake, but oh my god, he does get the counter charge in. Does manage to take it out. There's the defensive issue. Oh, Dragon Blade is drawn. Can he scoop up any kills? Does manage to get 1, 2, 3. And now this is dangerous. This is incredibly dangerous. 3 people down. That Dragon Blade did work. My lord. And Poppy now caught in his own. Symmetra actually does a really good job against D.Va, in my opinion. If you can get that beam charged to level 3, the moment the D.Va launches out the back of the machine, she's going to be taking 120 damage a second, and that's not to be snuffed at. Defensive Zarya ult, there is a charge to follow it up. Don't think that's going to hit anyone. No. Does get called off, and will they go over the edge? No. Rasta manages to find a wall and does pin Aspire. These Reinhardt players, I do love pro Reinhardt. I'm so curious to see how it goes, and here we see Mendo now swapped to Reaper, is caught against this Tracer, does get picked off. Crom doing such a good job. That is a very dangerous fight against the Reaper. There is a defense web on the point, however. Symmetra on this final point, not incredibly powerful. You don't get too much use out of the teleporter, in my opinion. But the defense matrix on this central point is kind of cute. That said, this is going to pick all of it off. But Reinhardt is there to barrier it. There is 1 or 2 there, and there is the offensive sound barrier. There is a bomb behind them as well. Does pick up 1 person. Crom getting that bomb in such a crucial position. That might have actually just been the game-winning play. Mendo stalling time using Reaper excellently to buy time for the team, contesting the objective while in that Wraith form. And there is a wheel. Riptide goes in, does pick up the Mercy. That's huge, but no one's there contesting. And the game is over. Cruz, in my opinion, MVP. Hope he gets to play the game. He does. And look at this. He manages to pick off the Lucio. 1, Goes for the Zarya, helps finish her off too. Reinhardt picked off in this thing. He was caught by most of the swings. They do have about 180 degree arc, so it does go down. 3 minutes 32 seconds. So, as the teams get set up for the next round, this is going to be a difficult push. 3 minutes 32 to beat. They will play it out, of course. I am actually impressed by how well these guys are playing, considering the game has been out very briefly. I don't know their histories. I'm not actually an FPS veteran, so to speak. I come from more of a strategy game background, personally, in terms of watching and spectating a lot of stuff. I do occasionally watch Counter-Strike, and that's about it. I do occasionally also very briefly watch some Team Fortress 2, but I can't remember any names from the pro scene there, unfortunately. I'm terrible at remembering names, so that's just me. Anyway, let's have a look at the attacking team. Actually, let's look at the defenders first. The attacking team is more likely to change at the last minute. They have gone with a Symmetra and picked up that extra shield on everyone, as well as the defense matrix. Very useful against the backcapping pathway on this map, around to this side. The ability to go around here is huge on this map. This is one of the very few counterpoint maps with such an overt way around. I have actually seen teams occasionally put a Widowmaker in here. It's not really going to fly in pro level games, I think, but it is actually kind of useful. Also, they have actually got crews on McCree in guard duty. If Tracer comes around that corner, she's going to be in for a nasty surprise. Roster setting up back here, so it looks like they're going to take this front choke point here around the truck. Symmetra does set up a single turret, is instantly picked off by Winston. Winston, so good at clearing out those nests, and it looks like they've gone for a Winston-Reinhardt combo. 2 tanks, and it looks like they're going for Widow, so they have no real direct defense on this team, in my opinion. They just have to rely on Lucio to bash down the front door. While it looks like Tracer is looking for that back path, she hasn't actually managed to get round there as well, so she is coming around, and let's see what she can find. Cruz is on the back though, does miss the pulse bomb and doesn't quite land the next shots. Tracer, be so careful, she's going to appear over here now, and she's actually in quite a lot of danger here as Lucio is there, dealing some damage, and she does get taken out. Winston, meanwhile, leaping straight for the point. He's just on his own, though, against 3 people. That bubble is so difficult to get through if people are playing around it correctly. And again, Winston straight on the point, dealing some damage. They've got to pick off this Mercy, though. She is really exposed there. Widowmaker already set up on the top there, is getting shelled by Lucio, but it's not going to quite be enough as the sound barriers do go off, keeping both teams nice and healthy for the duration. There's the Earth Shadow on the attacking team. Could take out the McCree, and a good source of damage there has gone down, but Zarya is on maximum charge with Crom there on Tracer. This is actually going to be quite difficult for the 2 tanks to take out. Zarya can deal so much damage now that she's on high charge, and she can keep Crom alive and up and running. Looks like Symmetra is getting back. She's setting up some sentries again, and setting up some shields, and there! They have actually managed to hold. 3:32 is the time to beat, remember. This is actually going to be very difficult now, as it looks like Mendo, let's just call him Mendo, is trying to get some shots in with Widowmaker. As I try and remember the button to swap into first person view, it's actually really confusing, as it isn't consistent in the slightest, in my opinion, on the spectator client. Maybe I just need more time with it. Symmetra does have a teleport up. This is actually quite big, and looks like McCree was hit by the bomb. Does get pinged into the ocean there, or rather the river. The cold, icy embrace. Roster missing the charge. He's actually very vulnerable there. He does manage to back off in time. Aspire does miss his charge, and it is going to take a lot of damage from that Zarya, and it looks like Symmetra as well is going to get that link established. If she can get the damage out, she can do a huge amount. Excellent Earth Shadow there. Does manage to pick off 3 targets. Reinhardt, Winston, and Lucio have all gone down. Bubble still now caught on his own. 3 versus 1. Mercy does manage to pick everyone up on the point. Also, Widowmaker doing a good job sniping from this side point, trying to get a few targets. Looks like Symmetra and Mercy down for the defending team. There is the defensive sound barrier coming up, and it looks like... Oh, sorry, that's the offensive sound barrier. Good lord. And they have managed to clean up. This should be the first point taken. I don't think the teleport is quite near enough, and they don't have a Reaper or a May to contest the objective for long enough. They could just try and do it. Crom is on the point, buying a little bit of time, but instantly picked off there by the damage. And, oh, let's break it. Oh, poor Lucio. Just picked off. Now they've got to be very careful for this fast push onto the second point. 3 people are down on the defending team. If Lucio can get them there in time, but it looks like he is on heal aura. Winston going to get straight into the point, is on his own against the Reinhardt. That's actually dangerous for Winston. Does have his ultimate, however, so we'll buy some time. Lucio only catching 2 targets there with that sound barrier. There's only 2 people left on this point. Crom doing some good work, trying to slow Vonethil down, deal some damage to that Mercy. Keep them pinned. Zarya is now out there, and there's a fire at will. Is there damage to take people out? Genji now in the fight. This is very dangerous. If Genji starts getting resets, he can really start cleaning up the entire team. Zarya providing protection to make sure he can do what he needs to do, but he's forced back. Widowmaker is picked off. Crom and Genji doing good stuff, but GG is cool, of course, as it was a stopwatch-based match, as that's going to be how it ends up. But the teams are going to play it out, of course, as that is best for practice. Difference in games, we're the shit rat. Oh bless. Oh bless. And oh my god, there's the fire strike. Damage pushed through. Reinhardt soaking up the damage in that front choke as Winston does look for the jump. They do have the Lucio ult, they have fighted it off. Mercy ult is also good to go. They're going to hope to get the rest of the assault on the points, but Cruz does have his Dragon Blade good and ready to go. There's the Earthshatter. Does whiff on the attacking team, it does land on the defending team. There's the Dragon Blade. He's swinging it around, does manage to pick up the Lucio, and it looks like they're going to actually hold this point. Farah stuck now behind the Genji. Winston locked down, of course, forced back, and the defending team has stabilized for another moment. They swap now to get a Soldier 76 out. This is going to help in the medium range, help with that pushing. Tracer leaps out, does get stuck, but does manage to rewind just in time. Does pull back to the safety of a team using that rewind. And again, 76, damage amp on the high ground. He can just throw down a heal aura and keep that damage amp going for longer. But Mercy actually forced back. Forced to take the lift to get back up into the battle. Is taking more damage on that 76. And it looks like the attacking team's Reinhardt also has gone down in the process. That's going to delay the next push for another about 20 seconds as he comes back into the fight. Mendo again laying down damage, but not really going to land any kills at this distance in my opinion. He's going to struggle to get through the Zarya and the Reinhardt. They're trying to just get damage into Reinhardt's barrier, knock it down so the next push goes nice and smoothly. They can't stop any damage coming through. Mendo laying more damage out. Farah spamming through the middle. No backline harassment on the attacking team as they stick with the 2-2-2 lineup on both sides. 2 tanks, 2 assaults, and 2 supports. This seems to be the meta going forward in these early stages of the beta. Mendo with a sprint jump does launch over. Zarya ult is good to go as we are notified. They don't have really many offensive ults to link up with that, although if the Tracer bomb goes into it, but no, Tracer's bomb goes onto something else. I'm not quite sure what he got it onto. Knowing Crom, it's probably onto Vonnefill. And there's the fire ult, there's the break it down. Zarya ult does buy them time. Everyone is clumped. There's the Earthshatter hitting everyone. This is going to be an easy cleanup for the defending team. It's so dangerous when the entire team gets hit by that Earthshatter. Reinhardt could just step in, wade in with his big hammer, swing away and take everyone down. Vonnefill actually in danger here, caught out on his own. If Tracer found him, that will be quite dangerous. As Farah, again, spamming damage in there, no Widowmaker to make that too dangerous, just got to keep dodging those Genji projectiles, which shouldn't be too big an ask. But Tracer in the backline, dealing damage, does manage to land the bomb, but doesn't take anyone out. Again, Tracer still in the middle of the enemy team, surviving somehow. He does manage to leap away. And here we see a duel. Tech versus seniority, and Tech wins. Genji does manage to take out 76. Again, just damage getting traded back and forth at the moment. More ults. Actually, similar ults on both sides. Both have the Mercy ult good to go for the next push. Reinhardt ult is up on the attacking team, however. If you can land that in good time, they could have a strong push here. The key has really been this Zarya Reinhardt combo. Landing the Tobalstein and then following it up with an Earthshatter has just cleaned out the attacking team twice now, I believe. And that has been such a game changer. So Lucio ult is now up for the attacking team, and Tracer is down. This might be time to push as they're slowly inching forward. That Reinhardt barrier is taking a huge amount of damage. Won't last too much longer. Just waiting on this Lucio ult. The sound barrier will signal the major conflict. And there's Tactical Visor. That might be the signal, but Crom is caught. Vonnefill is forced into rewinding. They're on the point, and there it is. There's the Earthshatter. Here is the Zarya ult as well. The bomb does manage to land and kill a bunch of people. There's one Mercy ult, and there is the hammer down. Reinhardt is swinging away in the middle there. Mercy ults are down on both sides. There is the fire ult. I can't actually see where that's coming from. Doesn't actually manage to scoop out that many people in the defending team. Almost down, but Mercy has picked them all back up. This is so dangerous now. Cruz dealing so much damage. Does have the damage out from the Mercy. That is a huge threat now with Genji, but not quite enough there to help finish them off. Bumbagus doing a good job keeping Cruz alive, trying to keep them going. There's the dragon. Can he do any real damage to it? Zarya goes down, and they might actually have this defended once again. One if they'll caught out on his own, it'll be better to just die there. You ain't getting out of that. That was my Steam. If you were curious, I do apologise. I'll edit that out of the final video. If you're hearing silences appear, that is why. So Genji spamming out the front door. Perhaps going to try and land some damage onto this fire. Crom, again, running interference in the back line, just buying time. All this action here, this is stolen. The longer they're all running around trying to kill Tracer is the time they're not trying to take the point. And they're not really landing damage on the Tracer either, so they're not going to be building up too much ultimate from that. It is a good trade for the defending team. As Reinhardt slowly inches forward, he is taking a lot of damage to that barrier, but they don't have that many good targets to pump damage into it. As they actually start a wraparound on this side, I'm very curious to see if this McCree can actually do something. I've seen McCree's before get onto these platforms with his ultimate up and deal so much damage so quickly. Comes in so fast. We do have Gravitron Surge up and good to go for the defense. We also have Sound Barrier good to go. And the offense is also similarly good to go. And let's break it down. But one time it down instantly. Lucio down for the offense. That's going to make it so hard. And there we go. There's the Earth Shadow. And oh my god. That's it. Holy shit. That back cap, I totally missed it. That was insane. Oh god. That Zarya Reinhardt combo. Holy moly.
And there we go, there's the Earth Shadow, and oh my god,